Welcome back to Wave of Dalker, episode 2 of season 2 of Week in Music. It's Willie Nelson week. I talked about last week how I wanted to do theme weeks this year with these videos instead of just doing a hodgepodge of whatever. There may still be a few of those this year, we'll see, but this week is Willie Nelson week. I listened to 5 Willie Nelson albums, and here they are. Like and subscribe. Album number 1 of Willie Nelson week, Make Way for Willie Nelson, came out in 1967. Not the first I listened to of Willie Nelson, but the first album, front to back, that I have listened to. And I don't really know the reason why I chose Willie Nelson for the first theme week, but, I was just feeling it. I've been listening to a lot of Johnny Cash, a lot of Bob Dylan, a lot of those folk artists from the 60s and 70s. And I was like, all right, Willie Nelson's another guy from that time, so I was like, all right, I may as well choose him. And this album was just wonderful, so lovely. I listened to it while shoveling snow out of my driveway this morning. It snowed like 3-4 inches overnight. So, I was out there for like 45 minutes just listening to Willie Nelson, and it was just tranquil. He has such a lovely voice. And a lot more somber tunes I was expecting. Maybe it's just because of my unfamiliarity, but I wasn't anticipating an album so kind of like sad. Like, my favorite song was Teach Me How to Forget. Just like a lot of the songs are just about his past lover or lovers. It could be multiple, and they're just so honest and poignant and just emotional. It was, I don't know, but he has such a lovely voice, and the guitar, and just it was really solid. Really great first impression for Mr. Willie. Got 4 more albums coming from him on the way. Excited to listen to the rest of them. But for Make Way for Willie Nelson, I'm gonna go 80 hot dogs out of 100. Really strong. On to album number 2 of Willie Nelson week. Album number 2 of Willie Nelson week, Yesterday's Wine, came out in 1971. Like I said, this is Willie Nelson week. Listen to, what was it? Something or other, yesterday. And this album, I liked less, I think. A lot, like, this isn't an issue, but there were a lot more Christian alignment and lyrics, and like based on this, like it opened on a sermon. And I don't have issue with that. I don't have issue with religion and tunes, but it's not something I seek out. But I mean, he has a wonderful voice. The instrumentals are always fantastic. I thought there were some really great tracks on here, but I'm curious to see if this remains a theme in his songs. Like I said, I don't take an issue with it, but it just kind of, as someone who's not particularly super religious, it kind of takes me out of it. But I enjoyed it. Vocally, instrumentally, it sounded great. But I liked his more yearnful songs in the first album I listened to. Like, I like him just being sad and lonely. Like, I think that adds a lot to, and just works really well with his sound. But I like this album. I enjoyed it. I'm going to go 74 hot dogs out of 100 for Yesterday's Wine by Willie Nelson. On to the next Willie. Album number 3 of Willie week, Stardust by Willie Nelson. Came out in 1978. The last album I listened to, what was it? It was like ballads of, or it was like One Last Ballad. It was, hold on a minute. Yesterday's Wine. That was the last album I listened to, and I said, like I said, I don't take issue with religion in tunes, but I just wasn't, I liked when he was yearning. And I thought this album was a lot more of that yearning, which I loved. I really liked this album. I thought it was really strong. Moonlight in Vermont. Sick as fuck song, dude. So good. Yeah, he got back to the yearning, which I like. And I think that's where he thrives, at least when I like it, is like when there's just elements of, a lost lover, or, he wants someone back, or, he wants to do something with someone. I think that's just where his sound, his instrumentals, his vocals just really, like they lights up really strong. I like this album more than Yesterday's Wine. And honestly, no, the first one I listened to is still the strongest, dude. That one was just perfection. Really, really good. But for this one, for Stardust, I'm going to go 83 hot dogs out of 100. Yeah, I mean, just really strong. I liked it. And that cover, super sick. And also, I think I gave the first one 80, but whatever. This ebbs and flows. On to the next Willie album. Album number 4 of Willie Week, Always on My Mind by Willie Nelson. Totally forgot what year this came out. Let's pull it up. 1982. Listen to this on a nice walk through the snow. I totally ate shit on some ice. It was funny. But listening to Willie Nelson made it all better. Similar to the first listen of the week, the time and place you listen to Willie really affects it. Like, I think first time I was shoveling snow, it was like still snowing. I was all bundled up and cozy, and he was just serenading me today on a nice walk, bundled up in the snow. Or it wasn't snowing, but bundled up on a cold winter's day listening to Willie Nelson. It just amplifies it to the utmost degree. This is probably... No, that first one was still really good. I like this one a lot. Instrumentals leveled up a little bit. There was some sax on here that I really dug. And he's back to form. He's back to form. Just singing about, missing his lover. Singing about, that's it, really. I mean, like, what was the tune? I just had it pulled up. Last thing I needed first thing this morning. Like, hold on, can I pull up the lyrics? No, let's see. I mean, I don't know. He just tugs at your heartstrings, and he just knows ball. And I love it. I love Willie Nelson. I love this album. Yeah, it's like, so excuse me for looking like my world just ended, and excuse me for looking like I just lost my best friend, and excuse me for living and being forgiven, so just go on if you want to be free. But the last thing I needed, the first thing this morning, was to you walk out on me. This guy's the fucking GOAT. This album is so fucking good. I really, really love this album. I thought it was fantastic. 87 hot dogs out of 100 for Always on My Mind by Willie Nelson. On to the last album of Willie Week. The final album of Willie Nelson, Willie Week, Rainbow Connection, came out 2001. Really going through the eras. We started off in the 60s, got some 70s, 80s, ending in 2001 with his 49th studio album, which is crazy. And I didn't realize that Kermit invented the Rainbow Connection. I associate Rainbow Connection with Kermit, but honestly, I thought that was a Willie song that Kermit covered, but I guess it was Willie covering Kermit's song. But that is the title track and the opening track to this. Always great. He kind of loses the plot with this one. Not like any of these songs are bad, but there's literally a song called I'm My Own Grandpa, where it's just him talking about how he fell in love with this older widow, and his dad fell in love with the widow's daughter. They married, they had a kid, and the kid would technically be his half-brother, but he'd also be the step-grandfather. It was very silly. There's also some really great, there's a really great female vocalist throughout this album that I really enjoyed. Let me see some of these tracks. On, I think Playmate, maybe. There was a really great mix of vocalists throughout this entire record, with Willie Nelson obviously being the front runner. Really good. I like this album. I'm going to go 82 hot dogs out of 100 for Rainbow Connection by Mr. Willie Nelson. What a great way to wrap up Willie Week, Willie Nelson Week. I really enjoyed all these albums. I think my favorite was definitely that first one, Something or Other, Willie Nelson, and then also Starlight. I'm already blanking on what all these albums are called. But yeah, I enjoyed listening to these tunes. Willie Nelson, one of the great vocalists, Stardust, and Make Way for Willie Nelson. Those are my two favorites. Yeah, this is just a great inaugural week of basing a week off of a certain artist. I'm looking forward to doing more. I'm thinking next week we do either The Band or Conway the Machine. I'll figure it out, but on to the guy. And now I'm back. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you've been listening to. Leave a comment, leave a whatever, leave a like, leave a subscription. And that's it. Peace out.